Hey, and welcome back to Gypsy Rose Yoga. I'm Julie, and today we're going to be going over the anatomy of triangle pose, or Trikonasana, also known as Untitled Trikonasana, or extended triangle. We'll be going over both variations and getting into some of the correct and incorrect ways to practice this pose, since triangle is considered to be one of the foundational poses of yoga. So some of the benefits of practicing triangle are reduces in stress, activation of the core muscles, which aids in balance and stability. It also helps to open the hips and the shoulders, as well as helping to stretch and lengthen the spine as well. So if you have a block available to you that you would like to use, you can go ahead and grab that, and I will meet you back on your mat in a moment. Pose. We want to step our feet out a little bit farther than shoulder width, beginning with the right foot first. We're going to laterally rotate that right foot out at about a 90-degree angle, facing the front of the mat. We want the arch of our left foot to come into alignment with the heel of our right. Now, starting at the foundation and building our way up, we want to make sure that we're not locking that right knee, putting too much pressure on the knee joint, but that we're finding a slight micro bend in the knee, pushing into the outer edge of that left foot, and then pulling up through the quadricep muscles of that supporting leg. Now, from here, we want to bring our attention to the hips. Rather than turning our hips forward, facing that front leg, we want to make sure that we keep our hips open, facing the front of the mat, and that we're hinging at the hips. Now, if you have any kind of stiffness in the hamstrings or the glute area, then I suggest using a block to begin with. And you're going to place the block right on the outer edge of that front foot. And this will create a lot less of a pull in the hamstring area. If we can keep our torso parallel with the mat, then that'll create a lot more range of motion for the extension of our arms. So from here, we're going to inhale, bringing our hands up, coming about perpendicular with the mat. Coming back to the hips, we want to slightly shift our pelvis back towards that back leg. And you can kind of feel the femur bone pop into the right socket from here. And we're going to slowly begin to hinge at the hips, either bringing that bottom hand, placing it somewhere on top of the block, or you also have the option to either place it somewhere along the shin. Our goal here being that we want to pull upwards through the chest, facing the front of the mat, creating a nice long line of energy from the left fingertips down to the right, finding length in the spine. Now, we also want to make sure that we're not just pushing all of our body weight into the block or into the shin, but that we're using the oblique muscles to find stability from here. So if you have any kind of stiffness in the neck, then I suggest either finding a gaze point somewhere directly out in front of you, or you also have the option to look down at the right hand. If not, you're going to bring your gaze point up towards the left fingertips, holding here for about 3 to 5 breaths. Now, if you want to take this into the full extended triangle version, what you're going to do is just remove the block, bringing that right hand down, placing it all the way on top of the mat, and then you're going to slowly begin to bring that left arm back up, creating that nice long line of energy from the left fingertips down towards the right, finding length in the spine, pulling the crown of the head towards the long edge of the mat, and finding that gaze point up at the right or left fingertips, I'm sorry. Holding here for about 3 to 5 breaths. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this week's poses and preps, and I will see you again next week.